Hello, Pencrest. How are you? My name is Mr. Roth, and I am the proud principal of Pencrest High School. And I am sending you this video so that you can start to learn our new bell schedule, which will take effect at the beginning of the 2025-2026 school year. Unlike our old schedule, you only have 4 classes a day here at Pencrest this year, and each class will be about 80 minutes long. Also, if you were here last year, you know that IE, our intervention and enrichment period, ran twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the middle of the morning. This year, IE will run from 7:30 to 8 o'clock every day. It's a chance for you to get help when you need it, connect with teachers when you need it, also a chance for you to connect with friends, and if you need none of that, a chance for you to sleep a little bit later if you're able to get here before the start of first block at 8:04. First block is pretty straightforward. Our first block starts at 8:04 in the morning. It is an 82-minute period. There's a couple minutes built in there for the Pledge of Allegiance and other announcements. And then you are done at 9:26. At 9:26 is when the schedule starts to feel a little bit complicated until you get used to it. And I promise you, you will be used to it by the end of the first week. So if you look here, there are 2 options for block 2. There is the regular block 2 that runs from 9:30 to 10:52, and then there's block 2 with a lunch from 9:30 to 11:30. The reason for that is that most of you will have a second block that runs for 82 minutes nonstop, and then you go to third block. However, some of you will have a second block that will have your lunch in the middle of it. That's right. Some of our lunches will run in the middle of a block. So if that is you and you have a lunch, you're going to look on the right-hand side of this chart at the top where it says block 2, a lunch, and you see that you will go to class from 9:30 to 10:10. You will then go to lunch, and then you will go back to that same class. If you have block 3 with a lunch, that means that if you are that student who has the lunch in the middle of your second block, you will then go straight from the end of that second block class to your third block class, which will run from 11:34 to 12:55 with no breaks in between. The rest of you will have either lunch B, C, or D. And on the right-hand side, once again, you can see how your third block will be broken up. So if you have B lunch, that means after your second block ends at 10:52, you will go straight to lunch, have lunch from 10:54 to 11:29, and then go to your third block class, which will run from 11:34 to 12:55. That class will be uninterrupted. If you have C lunch, that means that you will have lunch in the middle of your third block class. So you will go from the end of block 2 at 10:52 to your third block class. You will stay in that third block class for 40 minutes, ending at 11:36, go to lunch, and then go back to your third block class. If you have D lunch, the last lunch of the day, you will go directly from your second block at 10:52 straight to third block. You will have your entire 81-minute third block class, and then you will go to lunch from 12:20 to 12:55. Regardless of which lunch you have, your fourth block will start at 12:59 and end at 2:19, which is 4 minutes earlier than our school day ended in years past. The only students who need to worry about this A lunch for second block schedule are those who have A lunch on your schedule. Everyone else, you can just focus on regular block 2 from 9:30 to 10:52, and you will then follow the schedule for either block 3 with B lunch, C lunch, or D lunch. So what does your schedule actually look like? Well, when you get your schedule either on the Home Access Center or a printout, you will notice a couple things look a little different than they did in the past. First, it'll be important for you to pay attention to the marking periods column that's in the middle. If it says marking periods M1 and M2, that means the class runs for the first half of the year. If it says M1, 2, 3, and 4, that means it is an all-year course. Most of our all-year courses run every other day. And This schedule does not have second semester courses on it, but if it is a second semester course only, you will see M3 and M4 for the third and fourth marking periods. Our schedule will have 2 alternating days. On the schedule, it looks like day A and day B. However, we will refer to them as red and gold days. So if you look at your schedule and it says day A, it runs on red days. And if it says day B, it runs on gold days. If it says A and B, you have it every day, like this functional stat and trig on this schedule here. The other thing that might be a little complicated, again, until you get used to it, and at the end of your first day, you will know your schedule, is that you don't just have numbers for the periods anymore. You also see letters mixed in here. And so we want to focus just on the schedule for red days in this schedule. So first block, this student has functional stat and trig every day, A and B. That will be their first block class. Then on A or red days, this student will have marketing, and you can see it says 2 and 2A. That means that this student does not have a lunch because they have a class in the A period. The same is true for this student in the B period. This student is clearly a good singer. They are one of the decibels, and they will be every other day on gold days all year long in the second block decibels class. This student happens to have 2 different lunches. So on A or red days, you can see that this student has B lunch. So that means this student will go from marketing to B lunch, and then that student will go to American Government, which is their block 3 class that runs block 3C and 3D. On gold days, you will see that this student goes from decibels, their second block class, to creative writing, which runs every day, first semester. And from creative writing, they will then go to last lunch, that 3D lunch. This student happens to have a flexible schedule, fourth block, so the fact that they have last lunch won't bother them too much because they will be going home. I know everything that I just put out there is a little complicated, so I think the best way to go about mapping this out so it makes sense to you is to just make a chart, put 1, 2, and then add all the letters here. Everybody has a 1, a 2, an A, B, C, D, and a 4. If you do that and then take your schedule and fill it in, now it looks like a regular schedule. It's easy for me to see that I go from stat to marketing to lunch to gov and a flex. Gold days, I do stat, decibels, creative writing, lunch, and flex. Mapping it out makes it look pretty simple. And that really is the idea with our schedule, is that as complicated as it seems at first glance, the idea is to make your day less complicated. That way you can focus on what you need to focus on and enjoy the academic experience even more. Thank you.